What's going on, people? So, if you happen to be here on this little channel last night, you saw a pretty solid couple sneaker battles last night because it was a little back-to-back action. And they didn't go the full distance like the previous ones. You know, those ones went 7 rounds. These only went 6. But still, there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of tough decisions for the judges to make. So if you didn't catch it and you would like to catch it, you know what to do. So, and to anybody who was there, who was watching live, or who helped out by being in the videos, thank you again to you guys. I appreciate it more than you might think. So, there's that for you. Now, what we are here for today is this particular box of shoes that I am not sure how I feel about. So, if you happen to be following me on Instagram, and you may have seen my little stories and stuff, right? Because I know not everybody looks at those, but whatever. I put stuff in there from time to time. And sometimes I talk about stuff like this. And I had said, I don't think I like these. But I wasn't quite sure, right? You know, because Yeezys, they don't always look the same in person as they do like on the pictures. So I was like, you know what, I'll put in for them and we'll just see what happens. And so now here we are, got this box. And the thing is, on account of some of the other things that I did get through on last week, I figured, you know what, I should probably just go in there and cancel this order or whatever, or this raffle entry. And then I forgot to, because I saw other people saying, oh, yeah, I got them, yay. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess they came out, probably didn't win, whatever. And then I realized that the raffle was still going on and wasn't going to end until the next day. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll cancel it later. Obviously, I forgot. And then I won, so here we are. With this box right there, with that big old 380 on the top. Yep, so that's what that is. And then on the side, you've got some of that typical stuff that you see. And then on this side, you have a little bit of box damage going on for whatever reason. The box was completely fine, intact and all that stuff, but somewhere along the way, something just didn't quite work out how it was supposed to. But anyway, so this just says Blue Oat, Blue Oat, Blue Oat, right? With no E, so they can make room for it all. But yeah, this is going to be my first time looking at a pair of 380s. And I'm curious to see how this goes. But you're going to get to find out with me. So, let's see what's up with these, right? So, there's that one. Okay. And I know you're probably thinking like, well, if you don't want them, you can send them back, right? Yeah, I can. And that, depending on how this review goes, is what might happen. So if you see it on foot with the tag still on there, that's the reason for that. All right, so looking over these here, yep. So everything seems to be fine as far as no blemishes and whatnot. So let's go ahead and knock out this review, shall we? On this right here, the Adidas Yeezy Boost 380 in the Blue Oat colorway. So there's a lot to take in right off the top on this, but we're gonna work through it. We're gonna work through it, talk about it, share some thoughts, all that good stuff. But of course, we're gonna start down here with the bottom. So across the bottom, I'm not sure exactly what color this is. It's kind of like a tannish, kind of like a little bit of bronze mixed in there. Maybe that color is oat. I have no idea. But either way, you've got this pretty translucent color going on with a little bit of ridging to it. And behind that, you got the boost poking through. So, you know, it's looking like it's going to be pretty cushiony. Feels like it is anyway. And then moving up to the midsole here, you've got the same kind of color that you had on the bottom, just a little bit lighter, slightly lighter than it was on the bottom. And behind there, you can kind of see into it a little bit, see some of the boost and stuff going on in there. Looks to be very cushiony, kind of like the difference between like the Ultra Boost 19s to the 4s, right? Just looking at the back and all that stuff. But I'll have to save what I think about that for later when I actually see how that works. And so that just goes all the way around, nothing too fancy about it. And now we get on to the upper, right? So this upper has, let me take this here out. So this upper, this material, I don't know exactly what it is. It has that prime knit feel kind of like the 350s that I have, but it just feels like it's thicker, like there's more layers to it for some reason, which makes it feel like the other ones just kind of flimsy and stuff. These not so much. So that's, I don't know what to take from that, honestly. But anyways, as far as the coloring goes, down here, basically throughout the whole shoe, you have this orangish color and you have a brownish kind of color going on with that as well, mixed in there. Again, there will be close-ups so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And they just kind of have that patterned all throughout the rest of the shoe. Kind of gives it sort of a dirty look, almost like a camo sort of thing as well. But they've just got that going on throughout the whole thing, as you can see. And then on the side paneling, right, where they would normally have the standard see-through style like you have on like the statics and things like that, it's still similar. It's just that on this, they have it on both sides. So you have it there on the outside, and then when you flip it around, you also have it here on the inside as well. Along with that, while this whole thing looks to be fairly transparent, you also have these big old holes in there. So you got that going on too. So again, I have mixed feelings on stuff like that just because of the way that the socks you wear shape how the shoe looks, because sometimes you don't want that, sometimes you do. This time around, you just don't have a choice. Anyways, so you got that with that blue color going on in there. On the outside, it's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit lighter. Can't quite see it as much on here, it just doesn't show up as much. But here it's like more in your face, basically. Not necessarily lighter, but more in your face. So there's that for you. And then looking across at the front of the shoe, where the laces are and all that. Now these seem to be the standard laces that you see on every other 350. So yeah, even down to the feel and all that stuff. And those are in a color that's kind of a tannish colors. Matches up with some of the coloring that they have on the bottom of the shoe, just a little bit lighter, you know what I mean? And then moving up to the rest of the top here, where you have this sock liner, which is where things are a little bit weird in my opinion. You have something of a reddish clay look, almost like, I think, almost like what you saw on the clays that came out last year. I haven't looked at those in person in a while, probably not since I wore them. But anyway, so you have that going on. Very strange, but it looks like it's gonna be pretty good for your ankle, at least as far as the fit goes. And now, looking on to the inside here, you have this, you have the standard blue insole. It says Yeezy across it, which kind of matches up with the color that you see on the outside of the uppers. So it's a pretty nice color, honestly. Like that blue, I really like it. Now, I believe we've covered this whole shoe, have we not? So I'll hit you with my personal thoughts, and they are, I'm still not sure. I'm honestly still not sure. It's such a weird combination of colors. It might take a little looking at to really see how I feel about it. Also, I want to point out that not all of these holes are completely see-through. Some of them are filled in with whatever kind of plasticky wax sort of thing they have going on in there. So again, there will be close-ups so you can see exactly what I mean. But yeah, as far as this upper goes, I'm not sure what to make of it. It's not terrible, but I'm still just not sure. I mean, what do you guys think? And Yeezy said that it looks like if barf could be turned into a shoe, this would be it. I mean, I don't know that I can disagree with that. Anyway, so we need to do the on-foot portion, right? We need to talk about how these fit and all that good stuff, let you know what they look like, all that. So I'm gonna have to cut away because I've never worn a pair of these, so just give me a second and I'll be back with all of that. Okay people, so now that I've got these tried on, I gotta say, the comfort just right off the top, they don't match up out of the box with the Yeezy 350. Now, I've only worn these obviously for just a couple moments here, just walking around through the apartment, but that's just my out of the box opinion. As far as the fit and all that stuff goes, they're very much the same, right? As far as the length and all that, whatever size you wear, which to me is a true to size fit, in your 350s, I would suggest going with that on these because again, they just feel exactly the same. So for me, again, I wear the same size in all my Adidas shoes. So if that's something that you have, as in another Adidas shoe, buy that size and you'll be fine, because they should stretch out over time. Now, moving again back to just walking around through these, as I was wearing them, I just didn't quite feel that they had the same cushioning in the bottom. I'm not sure why. Again, maybe it just takes a little minute to break in or something like that. But just with each step, because I was wearing one Yeezy, one 350, one 380 for a minute, just to kind of do that real side-by-side comparison. And the 380 is just, they won, basically, is what it comes down to. Now, I'm not going to say that these are a terrible shoe, right? Because again, when you look at the comfort of the 350, it's super high up there. And to say that these are just not as good, it's not necessarily saying that they're bad. But it's something to consider if you're thinking, oh, well, 380 has to be better than 350, right? Apparently not. But anyways, I'm not going to say for sure how I feel right now, because I haven't worn them long enough to really give you a valid opinion. But in the future, maybe like if I keep these or whatever, I'll have to hit you guys with that a little bit later. Now, one of the things that I do want to talk about here though is just the fact that when you look at each shoe, and one of the things that I was kind of trying to get into during the what I was talking about there, so when you look at each of these side by side, right, you can tell that this one, the 380, kind of swoops up a little bit more in the back area there than this one does. So when you're walking with each heel hit right against the ground, this one is going to hit the ground first, right, and gives you a little more impact. For me, this one, not so much, because it's a little higher, right? So it almost felt like I was just really hitting the ground each time, whereas this was just like a more cushioned impact. This kind of thing, in my opinion, it works just fine on like running shoes, because you kind of want that, right? It helps you keep that momentum going, and less energy in each step means more energy return, something like that. I don't know. But either way, this idea on this shoe, I just don't know that that was a good one. On here, it's just built better, right? Again, for casual wear, that's just my take on it. So once again, if you have to pick, right, if you're just trying to pick which one or the other, 350. And the upper just felt more comfortable as well, just because it's that full, super comfortable prime knit, whereas this was a little more rigid. But all in all, I mean, it's not terrible. All right, I'm not gonna recommend it. I'm not gonna tell you to go out and buy a pair. Definitely not doing that. Not until if you see a color you want, sure, whatever. But just as far as what's out right now, because the colorways aren't great in my opinion, I'd wait, or I'd just not get them. I don't know. And then this here, yeah, it didn't really do anything for me one way or the other. And also I want to point out that here, it's not 3M, but it does have a kind of a cool effect when the light is shining on it. Gives it this little shimmer to it or whatever. So it's kind of got some cool factor, I guess, going on there. But otherwise, nah, I don't think it's worth really picking up, honestly. But that's just my opinion, right? I'm only one dude, right? I'm not you. So if you have a different kind of thing that you look for in shoes, please do you. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Anyways, I think that about covers it for this here shoe. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. It's got a little sneaker recap thing to do in about, what is it? It's 8:40, so that's coming around at 1. So it gives me enough time to edit this and maybe get it uploaded too. We'll see. But yeah, that's going to be me. So from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. And I don't know, I don't have anything else coming in, so I'm not sure when my next actual review will be. Probably not for a while, because again, I don't think anything's coming out anytime soon, is it? I don't know, you tell me. Alright, later people.